My dear friends, I'm happy to greet you once again as we face a new year. We can recite Shechianu, not just for the shofar, but Shechianu v'kimanu, thank God we made it through this year and we've come together to celebrate. But, as we say at the Passover Seder, why is this year so different than all the other years? Because in my memory, it is the most painful, the saddest, the tragic year that we have because of COVID-19. All of us have been affected by the virus. Our families, people have lost jobs, people go without food, our businesses, our employment, our stores. We live in troubled times. Now, how do we cope with them? You know, I like anecdotes. This is one of my favorites. It deals with the life of Yitzchak Perlman. The name may be familiar to you. He's an Israeli. He was born in Israel. World-renowned violinist. Unfortunately, at the age of 4, he contracted polio, and for the rest of his life, he was never able to walk without a brace or crutches. He made it a principle of his never ever to use a wheelchair. Well, one day about 12, 13 years ago, he was performing at Carnegie Hall to begin promptly at 2:30. At 2:30, the audience saw that the orchestra was seated. The conductor walked out, took his place. They were waiting for Yitzchak Perlman. Now, he had to walk from his dressing room. And he walked, and he came a little late. And he sat down in the chair. He's the only violinist who performs while seated because of his medical condition. He took out the violin. I'm not a musician, but you know, they always have to tune up and do things before. And apparently there are 4 strings on a violin. One of them broke. Ping. There was silence in the hall. That meant he had to go back to his room and he always brought extra violins with him. And he was going to practice with 1 or 2 of them to decide which one he would substitute for his performance. And then he was going to have to walk all the way back. Everybody feared that it would be a long time before they started. He sat in his chair. He thought for a few minutes, turned to the conductor and said, "Let's begin." The conductor was amazed. They started. And he, in a way I don't understand, was able to transpose the melody from the 1 string to the other 3 in some way. When he finished, the audience rose up. They grew wild. They couldn't understand that he was able to do it. And then he took the microphone. He said, "I want to thank you for your tribute. It's important for us to know that sometimes in life, you can make music with 3 strings too." And that's my message to you. Making music with 3 strings. There have been a few areas in our life where we've broken strings. Let me just mention them. One has been in our family relations. People have had bar and bar mitzvahs planned. The kid has studied for months, and it didn't take place. We've had weddings. I was invited to do a wedding, and then they decided they weren't going to even do it. It was limited to only 20 people. I've had funerals. No more than 12 people at the cemetery. We've had birthdays, anniversaries, family gatherings, all gone because of COVID-19. And the question is, we broke a string, but we went on. The second area is our religious life, where we've broken strings. I was ordained as a rabbi in 1957. Now, I know it's amazing for you. I made a world's record. I was only 5 years old at the time. And, you know, for 63 years, I've officiated somewhere for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, till today. Now I officiate before the camera, before a machine. I don't even see the people. I can't see the people who are falling asleep during my talking. It's terrible. But we carry on. Did you have a Seder this year? I had a Seder. I was in Florida. Couldn't come back to New York. You know how many were at my Seder? Counting me, 2 people. Not one relative. I didn't hear any grandchildren. I didn't see them. That's what it meant when the music wasn't playing. Religiously, it hurts me to say I haven't attended a synagogue, shul, temple for 6 months. Believe that? Not as a rabbi, just to go to shul, to see other Jews, to hear the Torah, and quite honestly, and to enjoy the Kiddush that they have afterward. That's all missing. Something's missing in my heart, but we carry on. We carry on. And the third area where we've had these troubles is in ourselves and in our hearts personally. I feel alone. I feel isolated. My children warn me, caution me about going and getting exposed to others and not to go shopping for food, to arrange food. I like to go to the store. No. I don't like takeout. I want to go to the restaurant. No. I had funerals this year I couldn't attend. One for my first cousin, my favorite first cousin, and the other one, my best friend. Couldn't come. They were restricted to only 12 people at the cemetery. It hurts, but you go on. The string was broken. But the question is, with God's help, in this coming year, we will make music with 3 strings. We reach out to family and to God and to loved ones. Somebody once said, this is a painful year. Pain causes people to turn to prayer, and prayer causes us to go to God. May this be a year of blessing and good health and peace, and let us say amen.